Another committee hearing this morning regarding the Uvalde school shooting, what we're keeping our eyes on, and when the preliminary report could be released.
Well, summertime means time for camp for many kids. Today on the show, we're going to explore a local summer camp that helps many families with medical conditions or disabilities in and around our community.
Felt more like Death Valley, California out there this weekend than San Antonio, Texas. That is for sure. The sun is up. It's going to be another scorcher. Will we tie or break a record today? Justin is standing by with more.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And from the safety and coolness of the indoor studios at KSAT 12, good morning to you. It is Monday. It is July 11th.
Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. I know you joked that it was 146 degrees yesterday. It felt like it.
It felt like it, that's for sure.
And Justin's hinting towards another degree warmer. So we'll have to check with him later.
Let's check out today's 9 at 9. The Uvalde County Sheriff Ruben Nolasco is expected to testify this morning before the Texas panel investigating the deadly shooting at Robb Elementary. He initially refused to do so and then changed his mind after being issued an official notice. A preliminary report into the shooting could be released within the next 10 days.
The First Lady will visit San Antonio today to speak at the Latinx Inclusion Luncheon. It is part of the Unidos U.S. Annual Conference, which is a yearly event held for people to collaborate on issues that include housing, health, racial equity, education, diversity, and inclusion.
Steve Bannon, the controversial advisor to former President Donald Trump, now says he will cooperate with the Congressional Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection. His lawyer says Bannon would like to testify live and in public, but one committee member says that may not be the case because of how many questions committee investigators have for him.
With COVID-19 cases going up, you might want to think about masking up. That's what the CDC says as new versions of the Omicron variant fuel a summer surge. Across the country, more than 100,000 new cases have been reported every day over the past 2 weeks, but some experts say that number could actually be much higher.
Some relief at the pump as gas prices are coming down. Regular gasoline dropped 19 cents on average over the last 2 weeks. Industry analysts say the decline comes as the cost of crude oil falls. They predict gas prices could drop another 10 to 20 cents.
Abbott's Labs is back to making baby formula at its Sturgis, Michigan plant. It reopened this month after severe thunderstorms shut it down for nearly 3 weeks in June. Another setback in attempts to restore the nation's formula supply. Abbott is now cranking up production of specialized formula, and a spokesman says shipping will begin in the next few weeks.
Japan will bid a final farewell to a former leader, Shinzo Abe, this week. A private wake is being held in Tokyo today, followed by a funeral service tomorrow. The former prime minister was gunned down Friday during an outdoor campaign event. The 41-year-old man accused of killing him says he was angry over an unnamed group he thought Abe was connected to.
A wildfire burning out of control in Yosemite National Park is threatening a grove of iconic sequoia trees. The Washburn Fire has burned more than 2,000 acres since igniting last week. Nearly 550 firefighters are on the front lines, battling the fire from land and from the air.
Because of the excessive heat we've been seeing these past couple of days, ERCOT and CPS Energy are encouraging businesses to reduce their electricity use between 2 and 8 p.m. today. We have a list of ways to do that on KSAT.com. Just look for this story on our homepage. And that is today's 9 at 9.
And taking a look outside with live cam. We started in the 80s this morning, so it was already kind of a warm early morning. I can only imagine what we're going to face today.
It would cool all the way down to, 82. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. That's
so
it.
We are going to see a rapid warm up today. More heat, more extensive heat here around the area. Temperatures could make it all the way up to maybe 107 today. I think it's possible. We went 106 yesterday. You see the numbers around the area. Some of these, actually most of these were records. College Station jumps off the page. 111 there yesterday. That was an all-time record high for those folks. 104 Houston, 103 Victoria, 103 Beeville. And as we look at 100-degree days, we're now at 32 for the year. and we are on pace to break all sorts of records. 59 is the record of 100-degree days back in 2009. We should get there if we continue the way we're going, and it's looking more and more that way. Here's the forecast high temperature today. 107 here in town, 108 Elmendorf, 108 Pleasanton, 109 Carrizo Springs. I know it shows some cooler temperatures in the hill country, and that's because the models think we could see some cooling showers, maybe a few downpours by this evening. We're hopeful for that. Just like yesterday. Until then, though, we do have excessive heat warnings in effect up and down the I-35 corridor. That's where we could see that heat index rise as high as 112 in some isolated spots. I think here in San Antonio, more in the range of 109 to 110, and that high temperature anywhere from 105 to 110. So some big-time heat today. It does cool down some as we head towards midweek, and we do have some more small rain chances in the forecast. We discuss that more here in just a few minutes, but we got to get over to Stephen now with a look at what's going on traffic-wise.
So some hope in the forecast and some relief on the road. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're seeing here. Thank you, Justin. 35 at Weidner. Things are moving just fine. We did see some issues out there a little bit earlier in the morning, but thankfully things look like they're moving just fine. At this point, 410 at Austin Highway, we had a pretty serious crash. It lingered around for a little while, but thankfully a lot of these shots, as we're showing you on the rotation, not seeing anything, just some smooth sailing traffic as people are driving off into the new week. But be prepared, because although we are seeing a lot of green on the screen, there are some areas where construction is causing a little bit of a slowdown. So we always want to make sure that you plan ahead. Right now would be a great time to open those camera apps on your phone and scan this QR code. That will take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. We say it all the time, and this list is updated each week. It's a list of closures that are taking place in your areas. So tap the center of your screen. That will take you to that page. Just don't forget to scroll to the bottom of the screen and you'll find that list of closures there. Mark, Seth.
Stephen, thank you. In your morning headlines, a big update in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, why Amber Heard's attorney is filing for a mistrial, and former Speaker of the House Paul Ryan giving us an inside look into his reaction on January 6th via a new book.
Plus, a heartwarming story this Monday morning, a special honor for a mailman. Max Fassi joins us live via Zoom. Max, where are we starting today?
Good morning, guys. So I am via Zoom because I tore my Achilles. And I got to say, I got to work on the tan or something, because this Zoom lighting, not good for me. I'm just going to throw it out there. I want to get out and tan, but Justin out here telling me it's going to feel like 112 today, so that's not great. Where we're starting, though, well, recently we've been talking about a business drama with Spirit Airlines possibly merging with Frontier. But this morning, that business drama seemingly the least of Spirit Airlines' concerns. So we're starting with a terrifying sight in Atlanta, a Spirit Airlines flight. It was landing when it briefly caught fire. Imagine being on board. So take a look, a witness capturing this on camera. This is the moment the airplane landed in Atlanta. It was caught on fire. So the person who filmed it is okay. So is everyone else who was on board the flight. Officials at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, they wrote in a tweet that the brakes on the landing gear of the Spirit Airlines flight from Tampa, well, they caught fire upon landing. Atlanta firefighters able to put out the flames. The plane was towed to the gate for passengers to disembark. But as you can imagine, being on this flight, it was an experience to say the least.
You heard two loud thumps. Like the first one you're supposed to hear when you landing, and then it was like probably like 3 to 5 seconds after that you heard another loud thump. Everybody started panicking, like getting up, and that was near the wing, the left wing, and they was trying to look and see, and they saw that it was a fire.
So that was Scotty Nelms, who says, as I would be, he's hesitant about getting on another Spirit airplane. The airport says the fire was small and it did not affect any other flight operations. All right, now to Paul Ryan, some new revelations from the former House Speaker. This all comes about his reaction to what happened on the Capitol on January 6th. So in his new book, Paul Ryan was reportedly sobbing as he watched the January 6th Capitol attack on TV. Now, the author of the book, the main author, Mark Leibovich, says that Paul Ryan, who was elected as House Speaker at only 45, felt like, quote unquote, something had snapped in him on January 6th. Now, Ryan telling the author that he had spent most of his adult life in the Capitol building. And when he saw his friends, many of whom were police officers, Capitol police officers, when he saw them attacked, he didn't know how to feel. Important to note that Paul Ryan really kept a relatively low profile since leaving Congress back in 2019. All right, just when we thought we were done with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp drama and the trial, well, they pull us back in. Amber Heard's attorney filing for a mistrial because apparently they're alleging that one of the jurors may not have been who they were supposed to be. So attorneys for Heard claim that the information on the jury panel, well, it was sent to counsel ahead of the trial, and it doesn't appear to match the demographics of one of the jurors. Court documents claim that juror number 15 was apparently born in 1970, but the summons to be a juror, same last name, so that's not an issue. The issue is the date of birth, 1945, so about a 25-year difference. That means that it could have been the wrong juror, and the attorney claims that materially impacts the verdict. Now, the court filing argues that Heard's due process was compromised if the individual was not the right person on the list, or if the clerk did not verify his or her identity. All right, so here's a good story to start the Monday morning. For 40 years, neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night could keep this man from his appointed rounds. And now the community is showing him their gratitude. I want to introduce you to Scott Arnold, a mailman who received a special honor from his community. So Scott has been delivering mail for the U.S. Postal Service to 400 houses in the same Virginia neighborhood for 40 years. And after these 4 decades of delivering, Scott was finally on the receiving end of getting a surprise for his grateful postal customers on his last day. Take a look.
When I turn the corner and there's like 125 people standing out in the middle of the road, it was like I've never had a rush like that in my life.
So Scott says he has 2 mottos. One of them is, if you're happy, I'm happy. The second one, only the best for the best. And he says his customers had a way of making his day better. Their waves, their smiles really kept him going for 40 years. He said somewhere along the road, he started to see these people on his delivery route as so much more than just the delivery route. Take a look at that crowd. He said they are all family to him and they will always be in his heart. So it really is amazing. First off, 40 years in the same delivery route, guys, and then just to see the community come together and honor him, and so much love. The 2 mottos, not only for delivery men, but for really all of us. Only the best for the best, and you guys are the best.
Oh, thank you, Max. We feel the same way.
Thank you for that nice story.
There are jobs and there are careers, and this guy clearly had a career, and they became his family. Very nice. We wish him a wonderful retirement. And so sorry to hear about your leg again, Max.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah. We have a scalpel and some super glue. We can do it at a discount if you just let us know, okay?
No, we just...
I appreciate it.
But we need you to sign a few forms first, okay?
Deal.
Deal. No. Thank you, Max. Max Massey joining us live. Thank you. 9:10 right now, 87 degrees still ahead on GMSA at 9.
You might be familiar with her story, but she came here after surviving the devastating earthquake in Haiti back in 2010, and now she's officially a U.S. citizen. Lee Wallman shares her journey to citizenship.
Plus, a personal trainer says running on all fours has really transformed his body. He explained how he got started with this practice when we come back. 9:14, power suppliers keep telling us there is enough power to keep us through this hot streak today, but they're also asking for a little bit of help.
Yeah, they are, and we certainly hope there's enough power. But yeah, they asked us to reduce our use today. I think they asked a little bit about that yesterday as well.
Yes, and today I think it's going to be a little bit of a closer call. To be fair, we're all kind of skeptical right after February 2021, and so ERCOT is asking folks to voluntarily reduce your usage this afternoon, and here's why. So that blue line represents the forecast usage of energy, and that purple line represents what we have. So the supply and demand, well, they come pretty close together, and it does look like demand may outpace a little bit the supply. So we'll see how this plays out. It's ERCOT's going to be watching this closely. Obviously, CPS Energy is saying we have enough energy. But this afternoon, with the way temperatures are shaping up to be, that's why they're asking you to reduce your energy usage a little bit as we head towards the afternoon. As we look at the consecutive 100-degree days, so we've had 10 now, 10 in a row. We're projecting 13 in a row, which would be enough for 3rd place all time here in San Antonio. I mean, we've got all sorts of records really starting to be broken here with this stretch of heat. This is just one of them, but I expect that today will be our 11th day in a row of 100 degrees or above. Now, yesterday, some of us, a lucky few of us, got some cooling downpours. It was so nice to see it on radar. We had a couple strong storms, too. That was mostly just because of wind. But you look at the rainfall, Kerrville, Vanderpool, Bandera, all picking up some decent rainfall totals. The airport didn't get anything. Comfort, about 1,200ths of an inch. And as you look at Bexar County, it was right around 281 at 1604. That was the area that got the most rain, close to a little over 8/10. And then Spring Branch, about 1/4 of an inch. Natural Bridge Cavern, some rain there. But again, most of San Antonio stayed dry. The hope is that we'll get a few more of those downpours today. As we go outside for you, it is clear. Temperatures are already at 87, 86 Stinson, 86 Kelly, 85 at Randolph, and a southerly breeze at about 7 miles per hour. As far as cloud cover goes, there's not much there right now. But just like yesterday, it's mostly clear through about 1, 2 o'clock, and you'll start to see some of those clouds developing to our north. Those are the cloud element, but I wouldn't get your hopes up too much here because most of the models keep that moisture east of us. High pressure is still very much in control of our forecast. And as we look forward in time here, that low kind of drifts west, but eventually gets pulled back to the north, and so we don't get a lot of the benefits from that. Maybe a little bit of moisture thrown our way by Thursday, which would bring some small rain chances into play, but nothing big here. 104 tomorrow, 103 on Wednesday, so that's our triple-digit streak continuing. My hope is that we'll get enough cloud cover on Thursday to bring the temperature below 100, but we go right back to the triple digits by the weekend.
Thank you, Justin. Well, everyone's always looking for new and interesting ways to work out, right? And one man is hoping to inspire others to get creative.
A personal trainer in Indiana says that running on all fours for almost an entire year has made him super ripped. ABC's Will Gans shares his story.
Nathaniel Nolan has spent the last 322 days doing this. The internet unleashing a ton of running like a dog headlines. But the Carmel, Indiana personal trainer says not so fast.
There's no inspiration coming from any sort of animals. I'm not trying to imitate anything.
In fact, the all fours practice was born about a year ago when Nathaniel's calisthenics practices, jujitsu, and breakdancing started to wear on him.
I was suffering from a lot of pain in my wrists and hands and shoulders and stuff.
So he started doing daily planks and bear crawls, which naturally progressed into this.
So I do about a minimum of like 30 to 45 minutes a day.
How has your body changed since starting the challenge?
Well, I mean, in obvious ways, the kinds of things that I've updated on my page.
Abs and whatever all of these are.
The areas that a lot of people don't see, it's just kind of harder to notice, are the mobility gains that I've had, how much better my body feels.
Nathaniel doing his all fours practice at the gym, even under the Gateway Arch in St. Louis.
Are there areas where you're like, yeah, I'm not going to do it here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I'm not going to do something that's like gross or well, I mean, I have. I found out that like just putting your bare hands on the sidewalk, you're taking some risks there.
Do people ever stop you and say like, what's happening right here?
Pretty much never. A lot of people kind of underestimate how little people care about what's going on around them.
Some experts say you can burn 100 calories for every 10 minutes of doing a bear crawl, so it's no wonder Nathaniel is as fit as he is. He also says he's thrilled when he sees others embark on their own all-four challenge. All right, Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
No, Will.
They won't show that. It's a joke.
So we know this guy is here visiting San Antonio if we hear ow, ow, ow.
I know.
Ow.
Oh, Brian, he can't get away doing the sidewalk
No, he
run
can't.
here. No way.
I had a trainer at one point, and then he had us do mountain climbers every now and then. That's the closest I can think of.
Yeah.
But he's been doing it so much. He's got the gait of a greyhound. I mean, he's got
the form.
a stride going.
Right. It looks like he needs to be like in a movie where he transforms into, something else.
Who knows?
Very well done.
To each his own. Yeah, the guy's like 0% body fat now.
Right.
Just a little jealous. 921, about 87 degrees.
When we come back, a local veteran shares his story of dealing with PTSD and the advice he has for others coming home from Afghanistan.
924, welcome back. A local Marine Corps veteran has spent time sharing his story with others about coping with PTSD.
He said now with troops returning from a difficult end to the war in Afghanistan, adjusting to civilian life here is even harder.
He spoke with our Courtney Friedman about the barriers to care and what organization is helping them address them.
Spent 4 years as an Army paratrooper and 7.5 in the Marine Corps, stationed in both Iraq and Afghanistan.
I went through 4 IEDs, 2 suicide bombers, and a partially open parachute. So I ended up diagnosed with 6 traumatic brain injuries.
He was eventually medically retired and diagnosed with severe PTSD.
Back in the day, if you had severe PTSD or something like that and you came forward with issues, a lot of guys I knew got booted out of the Army. And since then, a lot of those guys have committed suicide. So that was a stigma for us.
With a push from his wife, he finally reached out for help and is well into his recovery, working now as a trainer with Canines for Warriors. He says over a decade ago, he saw a big shift in the military's focus on PTSD and mental health, but the stigma still exists.
Part of that is the individual that still believes mentally, I don't need the help, I'm fine, there's nothing wrong with me. And part of that is like the VA system. Like when I got out in 2012, and I went for my PTSD treatment with the VA, it was a 6-month wait just to get in to see a doctor.
That's where organizations like Mission Roll Call come in. They assist veterans in crisis, but also advocate on Capitol Hill for issues like suicide and access to care. Executive Director Cole Lyle says he almost became a suicide statistic, saying in a statement, "Had a fellow Marine not intervened, I wouldn't be here." We speak directly to our membership through regular interviews, polls, and town halls across the United States. Combined with empirical data, we use these stories to produce striking, detailed images of issues affecting our community. Mission Roll Call recently polled its 1.4 million veteran members and found that 72% believe the recent Taliban advance through Afghanistan was a reason for personal reflection and sadness.
I spent a lot more time sitting around drinking beer and just being angry. But you got to find a positive outlet like talking with the doctors, talking with my wife, talking with fellow veterans, just venting and getting that off your chest is really what helps you to get through the situation.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Right now, 9:27, about 87 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including a look at a local summer camp intended for people with certain medical conditions or disabilities.
And the journey to American citizenship for a young lady who survived the devastating earthquakes in Haiti back in 2010. We'll tell you what she has planned for her future. This weekend was the first time since the tragic mass shooting at Robb Elementary in Uvalde that some families of the victims spoke publicly.
Hundreds of people from around the state marched alongside those Uvalde families to speak for the 21 unheard voices.
In the extreme heat, people marched a mile from Robb Elementary to Main Plaza in Uvalde. Some family members who spoke criticized the lawmakers and Uvalde's school board for not providing a safer campus.
Job to make sure children are safe and secure while attending school. It's your job to make sure parents can trust that their children will have a safe learning environment. It's sad that there are children and teachers that are afraid to come back to school. I know I am.
And others have also criticized the law enforcement response, where officers waited 77 minutes before entering the classroom where students and teachers were killed.
Well, to Washington now this morning, Steve Bannon, the controversial advisor to former President Donald Trump, now says he will cooperate with the congressional committee investigating the deadly January 6th insurrection.
This comes after Bannon refused to speak to the committee for months and faced possible jail time for ignoring a subpoena.
ABC's Jay O'Brien reports Bannon's attorney says his client will now cooperate after getting the okay from President Trump.
This morning, Steve Bannon reversing course, telling the January 6th committee he's willing to testify. Bannon and the committee initially locked in a legal battle for months. The conservative firebrand and former Trump White House strategist facing criminal contempt charges after refusing to comply with a congressional subpoena. He and former President Donald Trump claiming executive privilege, even though Bannon left his White House job in 2017. But in this new letter obtained by ABC News, Trump now clearing Bannon to appear before the committee, saying, quote, "I watched how unfairly you and others have been treated."
I expect that we will be hearing from him, and there are many questions that we have for him.
The committee maintaining there's evidence Bannon knew about the Capitol attack in advance, a day before the riot, saying this on his podcast.
All hell is going to break loose tomorrow.
Bannon's decision to testify coming days after the committee heard from former Trump White House counsel Pat Cipollone. Once the top White House lawyer, Cipollone repeatedly mentioned by Cassidy Hutchinson, a former aide to Trump's chief of staff.
Mr. Cipollone said something to the effect of, "Please make sure we don't go up to the Capitol."
In a recorded interview, Cipollone facing questions Friday for 8 hours.
You'll see over the next couple hearings a little of what he said, but at no point was there any contradiction of what anybody said.
In a letter to the January 6th committee, Bannon's attorney says his client wants to testify live and in public. But one committee member says that might not be the case because of the number of questions committee investigators have for Bannon. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
We had some storms in the area late yesterday, and right now you're seeing just crystal clear blue skies. I know one of the pictures that Justin has got on KSAT Connect sees one of those storms from afar.
Yeah, Taylor always sends in some great photos here on our KSAT Connect. This is from Woodlawn Lake, but you can see the storms in the distance right at sunset. Makes for beautiful colors, beautiful scene there. Kind of always looks like a spaceship to me. But nonetheless, we had some of those billowing clouds that did develop into some decent downpours for some. Not all of us yesterday. Beautiful shot, Taylor. Thank you once again. Pollen count, Zan molds are low at 490. They're down from yesterday's moderate levels. In our KSAT 12-hour forecast by noontime, we're closing in on 100 degrees, 98, 101 by 1 p.m., 105 by 3 p.m. That's when we start to bring in a little bit more cloud cover and some small chances for rain. 20% chance at 4 o'clock, 106, 107 at 5 p.m. Our forecast high today. That rain chance starts to fall off after 8 p.m. Temperatures slow to cool, though, and we're going to see another day tomorrow in the triple digits. And don't forget, we have the heat advisory, excessive heat warning in effect today, guys.
Thank you, Justin. And like we mentioned earlier, CPS Energy and ERCOT are asking customers to conserve their electricity usage between 2 and 8 p.m. today. Here are some tips to conserve energy during those peak hours. So you set your thermostats 2 to 3 degrees higher and set programmable thermostats to higher temperatures when no one's home. The optimum energy saving temperature is 78 degrees, so avoid using large appliances like ovens and washing machines and use fans to feel cooler, but remember to turn them off in empty rooms.
Also, turn off and unplug non-essential lights and appliances. Close all your shades and blinds on windows exposed to direct sunlight, and charge those electric vehicles after 10 o'clock tonight.
And she survived the devastating earthquake in Haiti back in 2010, and now she is officially a U.S. citizen.
The process was more than a decade in the making. Bethany Paul sat down with our Lee Waldman to tell her story on a path to citizenship.
How are you, girl? What's poppin'? You know?
It'll take about a minute into talking with 22-year-old Bethany Paul for her to make you laugh.
Oh, that's funny.
Her bubbly personality and glowing spirit, they shine.
What's one word to describe me? Adventurous, I guess. I like that.
Paul's young life has been nothing short of a wild ride. She's worked as a flight attendant, traveling to new places, and attended San Antonio College and UTSA studying psychology.
I like giving to people, I like helping others.
And lived through a 7.0 magnitude earthquake in Haiti that took the lives of 220,000 people. She nearly lost her leg after being crushed and trapped for hours in her school.
That's when the moment I knew that I didn't know what was going to happen in my life. I did not know what was next. Sorry. Hold on. I can't.
Her life was saved by doctors at Christus Santa Rosa Children's Hospital, and she was taken in for 2 years by a familiar face.
It feels good to have not just one set of family, but 2 sets of family cheering for me.
Paul's mother and father are with her now in San Antonio. Her brother, little Leo, was born here.
He's 7. He's my favorite person in the whole entire world. Cannot live without that dude.
The 2 families, the Spreesters and the Pauls, cheered Bethany on as she became a U.S. citizen Friday.
First American in the whole family who went through the process, and now my mom is motivated to go through the process.
This, the latest chapter in her adventure of life.
I am Bethany. I am Haitian. I am American. I am silly. I am corny. I am someone who absolutely loves other people.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
As far as what's next for Bethany, she wants to go back to being a flight attendant while she finishes her degree.
And in the future, she says she would like to open her own holistic clinic with medical techniques from around the world to help people in whatever way they need.
Right now, it is 9:38, 88 degrees already. You're watching GMSA at 9.
And when we come back, Max Massey is going to join us again with a look at local summer camps that help so many families around our community.
The program's intended for people with medical conditions or disabilities. Max has that story after the break.
Good morning and welcome back. So I want to introduce you to the Children's Association for Maximum Potential, or CAMP. So CAMP's vision for all programs is that CAMP is for campers. And all of CAMP's programs are intellectually and intentionally designed for individuals with conditions or disabilities, and medical, physical, intellectual, and developmental. So we are joined live with Brandon from CAMP. He's the executive CAMP director. Good morning, Brandon. So give us the backstory. How did CAMP get started?
Good morning. Well, way back in 1979, there was a group of Air Force pediatricians who came together really because of the dream of one little boy named Matt who wanted to be like his hero, John Wayne, and ride on the back of a horse. Matt had some fairly serious medical conditions, and they thought they'd found a camp that he could attend. And his primary doctor, Dr. Chris, said, absolutely, I'm going to sign you up for that. But she said, I want to know the name of your horse and the name of your counselor the next time I see you. And sadly, once he started the check-in process at the camp, they decided they just couldn't care for someone with his medical needs. She didn't know that until he came to visit her clinic the next time. So she goes into the exam room and says, all right, Matt, tell me, what was the name of your horse and what was the name of your counselor? And he just broke into tears. She found out what had happened, and then in the, you know what, no child, regardless of their illness or disability, should be denied the opportunity to have a camp experience just like their more typically developing peers. So along with a couple of other physicians there, Dr. Bob and Dr. Fred, they got a whole team of people together, rented a camp for the weekend out here in the Hill Country, and took about 35 campers with 40 to 50 healthcare volunteers, and they had the time of their lives. Matt got to ride a horse for the first time. Apparently it rained all weekend, and they rode horses in the rain and canoed in the rain and pushed wheelchairs through the mud because there weren't sidewalks like we have today with the Americans with Disabilities Act. But you know what? They had the time of their life. They said, we've got to keep doing this. And now, you know, fast forward from 1979 to 2022, and we are serving even more campers, more than 1,000 campers a year through our summer and school year programs. And we do it with the help of hundreds of healthcare volunteers, especially those licensed physicians and nurses. We always need more of that kind of support. But then the one-on-one counselor buddies, starting at age 15, those volunteer counselors come and give their heart and soul to being a buddy, to being a friend who's there to help assist our campers through an amazing week. And honestly, for every volunteer who shows up, that means one more camper gets to come to camp. So we always need more volunteer counselors as well.
That is amazing. You know, we spoke to a camper and a counselor earlier today, and it was so amazing to hear from them. So you said about 1,000 campers a year. How big is this need in and around our community? And take us through, I know you've been there for 15 years. Take us through a day in the life of a camper.
Sure. So, you know, the need in our community is great. We often have waiting lists of campers wanting to come to camp. When you look in the greater San Antonio community, there are thousands of people who have medical conditions or disabilities who could benefit from an experience like ours, and don't always have those opportunities available to come out and ride a horse or float in a canoe or swim in a pool or shoot archery. And we, you know, just always want to make more and more opportunities available to folks. And you know, there are stats out there. I don't have them on the top of my head about how many thousands of people there are, but the need is incredibly great in our community. That's for sure. When you think about a day in the life of camp, it can vary, but we've got activities that include swimming, arts and crafts. We have a new ceramics program with a kiln and all of that. We have canoeing down on the Guadalupe River on the riverfront portion of our property here at Camp out in Center Point. We have outdoor cooking that we do along with that. We have not just our horses for horseback riding, but we also have a number of other critters in our nature center that campers get to meet. Rico, our chinchilla, and some of our snakes, and our bearded dragon. Sandy is one of the favorites, but we have goats. We have all kinds of different animals that our campers get to meet and learn about. We have target sports that include archery and paintball. And one of the newest activities that we added just this year is a giant swing. So
we just saw a video of the archery. We saw a video of the giant swing. So that is amazing. And we heard from Kalen, who we're going to hear from actually on KSAT News at noon. He was talking about archery is his favorite thing. We heard from Lizzie, who loves to canoe. So just want to say, Brandon, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. And if anyone wants to help out, volunteer, we're going to have that info on KSAT.com. And of course, like I said, News at noon, we're going to have a deep dive into the camp and what comes next for these campers. Brandon, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thank you, Max.
Thank you, Max Massey. All right, Justin joined us now. Answering the question, hottest temperature all time.
Yeah, we get this question a lot, especially after yesterday when we got up to 106. Hottest all time is 111. That was back in 2000. In 2011, we got up to 110. You see the list there. So yesterday ranks in the top 6, if you will. We tied in the top 6. But today, we're going 107. That could move us up a spot. We're definitely seeing some very, very warm temperatures, and the duration of this heat is what's been impressive. I mean, we're going on 11 days now. Well, today we'll make 11 days of 100 degrees or above. We go outside for you. Clear skies, 87. I would not be surprised if by 10 o'clock we're already in the 90s. Dew point is 70, so it feels like 92 at 9:45 in the morning. 90 is what it feels like in Converse, feels like 91 at Stetson, 92 the current heat index in New Braunfels. Heat index will be an issue today. Temperatures up around 105, 106, 107. It'll feel a little bit warmer than that, and that's why we are talking about this being dangerous heat. 98 degrees by noontime, 101 by 1 o'clock. Then we start to bring in a little bit more cloud cover by the evening and maybe some cooling rain showers. Very, very similar to yesterday. We think we top out at around 107. We're on pace for that. We're a little bit ahead of schedule when it comes to yesterday, how we compare those temperatures. So we know it is going to be a very, very hot day. Hopefully these showers cool us down and hopefully some of us get some rain out of it. Here is the forecast. As we go into 5 o'clock this evening, we're going to put in that 20% chance of rain. As I said earlier, between 3 and 8 o'clock, that's probably the window where we'll see our best chance of these pop-up showers. And then by tomorrow, little piece of energy moving through that gives us another chance here, 20% chance. This is around 4 o'clock tomorrow. So today and tomorrow, it'll be the hit or miss type stuff, but there is an opportunity there to at least get some rain. We need it in the worst way, even if it's just a little bit. Tropics, there is one area we're watching, little disturbance off the coast of Florida. Right now, extremely disorganized. We've got some time to watch it, but the Hurricane Center is giving us a 30% chance of development over the next 5 days as this drifts west. I wish I could tell you that this would move into Texas and bring us some rain. It's not looking great for that. High pressure is still very much in control, and it does move west a little bit, which would open the door some for some maybe deeper moisture on the Texas coast. I just don't know that it makes it to San Antonio. And this system kind of drifts out here and then moves north. If that's the case, we'll be on the dry side of things. We'll miss out on the rain once again. We are going to put in a 20% chance of rain on Thursday, as it does show some moisture gets thrown in our direction, which could bring a few more isolated showers and storms. So the extended forecast, 107 today, 104 tomorrow, 103 on Wednesday, small rain chances next few days, another 20% chance on Thursday with the added cloud cover. I hope that brings us below 100, but more triple digits in the forecast Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be right back. NBA Summer League play continuing. 25th overall pick for the Spurs, Blake Wesley, putting on a show against the Cavaliers Friday. Game high 20 points, and he was rolling again yesterday against Golden State. Spurs outscored Golden State 25-10 in the second. They led 48-34 at the break. San Antonio would lead going into the third. However, Golden State would start slow, an effective comeback, and would win it by 1, 86-85.
Wesley scored 22 for San Antonio. Darius Day had 17 points and 13 rebounds. Josh Carlton had 10 points and 11 rebounds. And Josh Primo had 10 points. Summer League in Vegas continues. Spurs take on the Rockets at 6 o'clock. Thursday, the Spurs take on the Atlanta Hawks at 2 p.m.
And a couple of stories that we're going to be following today. A committee hearing regarding the Uvalde school shooting. The Uvalde County Sheriff Ruben Nolasco is expected to testify before the panel. He will participate via video teleconference.
Sheriff had initially refused to testify but changed his mind after being issued an official notice. The Texas House Investigative Committee's preliminary report into the shooting could be released within the next 10 days.
And the First Lady is making a trip to the Alamo City today. Dr. Jill Biden will be a speaker at the Latinx Inclusion Luncheon. So it's a part of the Unidos U.S. annual conference.
The yearly event aims to bring people together to discuss issues on housing, health, racial equity, and education, just to name a few. This is the first time the conference will be held in person since COVID.
We're going to have coverage of both of these stories later today on our other newscasts.
And we just hit 90 degrees already. It's not 10 o'clock yet. 107, the forecast high today, which would be a record. 104 tomorrow, another possible record. There is a chance for a few isolated showers and storms this afternoon, both today and tomorrow. We have the heat advisories, excessive heat warnings in effect, and again, ERCOT asking people to conserve energy this afternoon during that peak time, because it's going to be a close call, I think.
Yes, it is.
With the state baking, we're not the only ones.
I wouldn't be surprised again if we were at right at 97 to 100 degrees by noontime today.
Yes.
It's very possible, very possible. We were close yesterday. I think today will be the same story.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you for joining us. Stay cool out there.
Be safe. See you back here tomorrow morning for the early edition.